It's tough coming back, but I know if I'm working through it, you can work through it, and we can get through it. The Good Morning Man podcast. Let's grow together. But real talk, y'all. I was one bad move away from offering somebody juice and turning the whole thing into a therapy session. And I noticed that this started happening. The more I started healing, the more the intimate sessions would almost turn therapeutic, because guess who needed the most help? Me. It was me. It was me. And let me drop some truth bombs. Drugs make you forget you're worthy. Jot that down if you're in this space. Drugs or make you forget you're worthy, or anything you're addicted to. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I've learned, and I hope this helps someone. And if you know someone that can help, share it. When you use drugs to cope, to connect, and to love, you start to believe the high is the only version of you that deserves attention. And that was me. I don't have my mic today. You know, you forget that you're enough when you're sober. How ironic. You forget that you're enough when you're sober. You forget that love doesn't need a soundtrack. It doesn't need a soundtrack, a substance, or a scene. Love, true love, it doesn't need all of that. You know, and before you know it, before I knew it, you end up giving yourself away, thinking you care. This is heavy. Thinking you're building something real, but really, you know what you're really doing? What I was really doing, and what some people have done, you're renting out your body while your spirit waits to be picked up. You're renting out your body while your spirit waits to be picked up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the Good Morning Man podcast on YouTube. Drop me some comments. Let's grow together. I appreciate you. Let's continue to dive into this episode, Sober Love in the High Phase. We're going to get into some isolation plus healing, and how I came back to myself and how you can come back to yourself. We're back. I didn't go anywhere. But when I stopped getting high, I just didn't detox from a substance. I detoxed from a lie. And that truth was heavy. And I'm still working through that. One of the biggest things that I had to do was isolate, and I'm going to call it isolate. I had to sit in silence. You may have to sit in silence. I had to sit with my chest tight, my hands fidgeting, my stomach turning. I had to just be. I had to just be. I had to just be. And a lot of you all, you like to skip the emotional part of healing or being yourself. You have to do that because you need to be without a nominator. Be without someone else's body as my distraction. I had to be without that. You would have to be without that. Because you're going to use that as a distraction. You have to be without pretending. And that's when I met me. And that's when you can meet you. The version of you, the version of me that didn't need to perform. Getting high is performative. The version of me that could sit still and still be loved. The version of you that can sit still and still, be loved. And I'm not instantly perfect, no. But progressively, I'm getting better with myself. Progressively, you will get better with yourself. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not happening overnight for me. It's still a process that I'm growing through. And I know you can do it. That's why you're here growing with me. That's why you're here growing with me on the Good Morning Man podcast. And I really want you to know, if you're listening to this right now, maybe you've been there. Maybe you're right there now. Maybe you're right there now. And in that space where you feel like if you take the highway, there will be nothing left. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And I want you to, take this in, man. I really do. What's left after the high is everything you've been looking for. What's left after the high is everything you've been looking for. Peace is there. Clarity is there. Truth is there. And eventually, real love, it's there for you, for me, for us, for we. I had to just go ahead and throw that in there. I just couldn't stop. So let's do an affirmation with me, man. I'm feeling good. I hope this is empowering you. I continue to drive myself to greatness by helping others. That helps me too. Repeat these words with me if you're ready. I no longer chase connection through a fog. I am enough without the high. Say that one again. I am enough without the high. I can receive love fully, awkwardness and all. And you'll find somebody that like all your goofy. I'm in that zone. You will too. I am building a version of me that can stand without crutches. Love is not behind the drug. It's behind the healing. Love is not behind the drug. It's really behind the healing. So I just want you to know, thank y'all for joining me on this episode, Sober Love When the High Fades. This ain't about shame. This ain't about perfection. I'm not perfect, but I'm not shame either. It's really about me telling you the value of the return to you, the return to yourself. The first time you let someone touch you and you ain't high, that's courage, and I want you to know that. The first time you sit alone and you don't panic, that's growth, and I want to applaud you for that. And the first time you look in the mirror and say, I still love you, that's freedom. That is freedom. So keep walking it out, even if it's awkward, even if it's lonely, because that lonely season, let me tell you, that is not punishment. It's homecoming, baby. Shout out to Russ College. I can't wait. Homecoming 25. I'm showing up and showing out because I didn't in the past because I was ashamed of me. But no more, no más in Espanol. Catch y'all next time right here on the Good Morning Man podcast with your unlicensed life therapist, your big brother with roll, where healing ain't always pretty, but it's always worth it. And remember, every day is a good day when you create it in your mind. Key.